Hi, my name is Tom Pacioretty and welcome to Adjunct MVP, a place where adjunct instructors can learn tips and techniques and share lessons learned and mistakes made with other instructors in order to better our craft. Today's episode, we're going to talk about the electronics. As an adjunct instructor, you'll be moving from class to class and from institution to institution, and you may not know or may not have the opportunity to see what type of technology is in that classroom before you actually get there. And it can be I've been through the whole spectrum in the short amount of time that I've been teaching, from smart cart, fancy schmancy technology, all the way down to bare bones where I actually had to carry in or utilize one of the handheld, not handheld, but with the desktop type of projectors. So you want to be prepared for that, and let me tell you the electronic equipment that I bring with me. First of all, we're going to start with the connectors. And this is the crucial one that I've seen in most cases, is this VGA connector. This is the one that carries a video feed from whatever the device is hooked on the other end. In this case, this is a connector for an old iPad connector or the old iPhone connectors. In this case here, it goes directly to my video, my display output on my MacBook Pro. Again, the 15-pin VGA on this side. In this case here, this is a lightning connector. Again, goes out to the VGA. So this becomes the standard, at least that I've seen, is that if you can get any of your connector to connect with your electronic device that you're bringing and connect it to a VGA and get one of these, they're about 25 bucks a piece, then you'll be in pretty good shape. I keep lots of these, or I carry lots of these with me, because I don't know if my guest speakers may have some electronics or if they brought the right connectors. I just don't want to be in that position where I may not have the connector and now we have to get in some different way to get that information on the screen. The other thing that I always bring with me is my wireless mouse. I do not like pawing on that trackpad. I find it tedious. So it's a wireless mouse that's powered by a battery. And of course, I have my backup batteries, both the AA and the AAA batteries that I keep in my case. One of the reasons I have those AA batteries for this device, which I like to use, and this is while it's a pointer, you know, that little pointer where you can get your cats crazy and have them run around with it. I don't even use that one on the screen because it makes me feel like a cat running after it. But I do use this to remotely control the computer so that I can change slides, I can start a video, I can stop a video or pause it, so that I can now interact with students without being pinned behind the podium. We talked a little bit about the electronics from a connection standpoint, but also from a power standpoint. I know this is a bit industrial, but in one particular class that I taught in, and it was a fancy smancy technology, there was only 4 plugs, one for each one. It was a large room, each for one of the 4 walls. Since it was a night class, students would quickly come in and go right to those outlets so they could charge up their phones, and there were certainly more than 4 students in the class. So I ended up bringing one of these and even draped a extension cord down the middle of the class so that students could alternately charge up their phones and their laptops laptops during class. Worked out very well. This is a hotspot. I pay $20 a month for a hotspot. It works off your cellular data line. So in this particular case, it's Verizon. And this is just in case you get parachuted in. The administration hasn't given you the password to get into the internet, but this allows me to connect on the internet via my phone service, Verizon. And every once in a while, it has saved me so that I can know that I can get on the internet without having to use the schools or the passwords that they may or may not have given me. Along those lines with the projectors, this is a Jambox by Jawbone, and I use it for in case the speakers aren't working or the speakers aren't good enough, so that this is a better speaker setup for either the iPhone, the iPad, my MacBook Pro, or even a projector that I may have on a desk. I have the connectors with that. A simple 3.5 millimeter connectors that go into this and then also into most audio output devices, and so it makes it a really nice sound, and it's pretty compact, and so it's easy for me to keep around. I have the 16 gig rather. Gosh, they've gotten so cheap and so big. From a capacity standpoint, these are the flash drives, and I make sure I take them with me in case a guest speaker has it on their laptop, but now we can't get the connection, so we can get it onto this and then put it onto the computer that's running the smart cart. Or a student needs to get their homework to me, but the internet's not working, whatever that might be. So I always bring one of those. And lastly, as I'm trying to get more and more into the video age and want to see what I look like to students, so I began using videos, and I first tried the GoPro. Pretty ubiquitous, pretty inexpensive, very high quality. The problem was it wasn't good for very far away shots. As you know, it's all about the selfie sticks and more of the athletic aspects of it and those things. So at least I didn't find it helpful. One reason in particular was that of audio. I needed to string an audio microphone through this. I had to take the case off. So I ended up going for more functionality for about the same price through a handheld Casio projector that I'm using to project this for this particular episode as well. So those are the things that I bring with me for the electronics aspect. There's certainly more things that we'll talk about in other episodes. Now, if you have any other tips or techniques or ideas or equipment that you bring along, please send it to this email address here. If we use it, we'll make sure we get you a very cool swag bag or a swag pencil case from Adjunct MVP. This is Tom Pacioretty for Adjunct MVP, and remember, we're smarter together.